What up, it's your boy, I'm back. Now you gotta understand, I just got done taping this whole lit. And then I realized that I was taping the whole thing upside down and realized I had to tape the whole shit over again. So I'm gonna give you a quick version of what I just said in the last tape. Basically, I was breaking down these hats. Where I get these hats from is from my father. You see all them hats up there? My father gave me about 10, 15 hats when he died. It was one of the last things he gave me. He died on October 5th, 2012. And one of the last things he left me was all of these hats. And I used to think they was dumb as hell before he gave them to me. But then after I got them, I started learning to appreciate them because my favorite character from Mortal Kombat, his name was K-Blao. And that's who I kind of took my character from as far as when I started rapping. K-Blao was the name I used because I related to him because he was just loyal. And he was always, he ain't had no special effects. He ain't had no superpowers. He was just a regular dude that wore a hat that would whoop your ass. He had a combo that was crazy. He had like a 9-hit combo that was just crazy. And that's how I felt like with my bars. Like I ain't want to be, talking about no Lamborghinis or no ice or none of that shit. I just wanted straight raw bars, like raw combinations of bars and raw lyrics. That's all I want. And that's why I picked the name K-Blao. And then, the name that you probably know me as is K-Blao, which is really a hyphenated version of K-Blao. So these hats is really a symbol to me as far as me being ready to start sharing this information in my life when I accepted these hats from my father, because it kind of brought birth to my character, who is based on K-Blao anyway, and he wear these same kind of hats. So the way it just all kind of played out is really a reminder to me and a shout out to my father, and a reminder to myself to appreciate what you got, because you never really appreciate it like when it's gone. So that's a shout out to my father. I love my father. I love you, Dad. I know you watching. And on that note, I'm gonna hit them with this note, this new lit for the day. It's called the Desperation Lit. Now the Desperation Lit is one of my favorite lits because it's so common that people have this desperation, but they don't ever even diagnose it. Now when we go into the Desperation Lit, you got to start thinking about TV shows like Desperate Housewives that women watch. They keep, women are just in a state of desperation. You know what I'm saying? So no matter what a man do, to try to keep the woman happy, she always gonna have a certain just desperation about it. That whenever something go down, it's just an air of desperation that a man don't really have. Well, a real man don't really go through that shit. A bitch nigga, yeah, them niggas they go through desperation. They can't mummify themselves. They over here, they over there. They be doing too much, and then they they be too emotional, all that shit. Nah, a real nigga don't go into the desperation lit. Now, if you know about the desperation lit, you know that it's most common on Mondays and Fridays. Like on Fridays, it just be ton of desperation everywhere. The traffic be fucked up. Motherfuckers just got paid. They be trying to get to the liquor store. They got to get from the liquor store. They got to get home. They got to get something to eat. They got to pick somebody up. They got to drop somebody off. They got to get over here. It be a ton of traffic. Motherfuckers be honking at each other. Fridays and Mondays are the most chaotic days of the week. And those are also the most desperate days of the week. You see the most desperation in the air on them days. Now, it's different things that trigger different types of desperation in different people. So whatever your triggers are, you can start to study, the negative avatars of the White Rabbit, the Tinkerbell lit, the Wizard of Oz lit. I don't think we even put that up there yet. And then the Scrooge lit. Those are like the trigger. That's what you want to study, the triggers that might trigger somebody to go into the desperation lit, just based on your horoscope. But there's other things that will trigger somebody to go into the desperation lit. So, and then also, the program's still running. Once you get somebody out of that desperation, how they still bring themselves back to it on purpose. You know what I'm saying? That's called the program still running. Like, no matter what you do, they always is going to be desperate. You know what I'm saying? So, you got to be aware of that. And the more you're aware of it, the more you can plug that thought into your mind. I can't get this damn camera straight. The more you can get that thought in your mind, that there is such thing as a desperation lit, and some people are just desperate people, then you see it, you know how to deal with it, versus you not knowing it and just it being, man, I don't know why this person is acting like this. You don't even know what to call it. Desperation, know it when you see it. Knowing somebody is it's never gonna be happy no matter what you do. That whenever a situation come up, they start panicking. They don't know how to hold their emotions down. They don't know how to every thought is exaggerated. Everything is they got to put their life on the line. Like, you know what I'm saying? They everything is, oh, my whole life I've been going through this and that. It's like all that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, people say shit like, well, you know, back when I was a kid, such and such happened to me, so now today, because of that happens, it's like, you know, subconsciously, they don't know that their heart is stronger than anything on earth. And they just, you know, in their mind, they just kind of put stuff on there to that they say they never, you know, they can't deal with. It's like, your heart is stronger than that. They know that their heart is stronger than that. But, you know, people trick themselves into thinking that, you know, whatever they went through, it's a reason for them to feel desperate about something later on. That's just not how shit works. Once they learn to let it go and they learn that they behaving desperate, that's just one of the first ways to start getting past certain desperation that you may be living with, or that you may know somebody else, you know, living with that same type of shit. So know that the desperation lit is real. Know that that creates agents of chaos. It creates confusion, more desperation, more distractions, you know, all that type of shit come into play. That's why you see a lot of that shit on Friday. People be on the phone trying to get directions, moving around. People be drunk, maybe high, be traffic, people getting paid. It's like you just see desperation in the air on Friday, especially after around like 5, 6, 7 o'clock Friday night. That's why it is the way, you know, it's a certain, just a weirdness in the air. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, why people act like you know what I'm saying? When you picture Friday 5 o'clock, Friday 6 o'clock, Friday 7 o'clock, Friday 8 o'clock, Friday 9 o'clock, Friday 10 o'clock. People be moving around. You know, I gotta get here, I gotta go move. That's the desperation lit. You know, when you on your way to where you gotta be, and right when you about to get there, a train come by, and then, you know, the railroad tracks come down, ding, 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 and you gotta sit there and wait, you know, 10, 15 minutes, and you be sitting at the car, you can't sit still. They be playing the songs on the radio, and you be sitting there smoking a cigarette, trying to calm yourself down, because you know right when this train go by, you gonna cross over and be right where you at, and then the more you think about it, that's when the train stop, and then you really gotta sit there for like another 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And you get more desperate. That's not no accident that you may go through shit. Like, some people understand what I'm saying, you know, more than others. But the people that do, you gotta understand it's not no accident that you go through shit like that, and that there's such thing as synchronicity that you gotta be aware of, and that if God is really showing you a sign that you're not in sync with what He's trying to show you, if you living in a type of desperation like that. So what you gotta do is get in sync with God, get in sync with the rhythm of life that's waiting for you. You gotta get in sync, get in tune with your inner self, do some inner work. You have to get to know yourself. That's rule number 4 for Mayat. Know thyself. Then you won't have this type of desperation. You gotta, under the old man lit, which is a new lit we just came up with, you know, you gotta see yourself as 100 years old, looking back to where you at now. You know what I'm saying? If you 21 right now, and you know you could go back, you say, man, I wish I can go back to when I was in 8th grade, knowing what I know now. You see what I'm saying? So look at yourself now as 100. You know, under the old man lit, we're going to put that up tonight. But, you know, that's kind of what we just kind of came to that jewel the other day. So what we started to realize is that, you know, now I can look at myself as an old man looking back on myself right now. It's like time traveling. And I can say, you know what, I don't need to have all that desperation. I don't need to live in distraction and confusion and chaos and that type of environment, you know, because I can see myself already at 100 looking back where I'm at now. You know what I'm saying? So you let a lot of shit go, a lot of shit that, you know, you get too passionate, too fiery up about the wrong things, it causes problems later on because you be desperate, you know, out of desperation. So, you know, if I'm able to look back on my life from an old man, look back now and cut all that desperation out before it even happens, then, you know, that cuts out a lot of cancer, it cuts out a lot of stress, a lot of diabetes, a lot of shit like that I'll be living with later just by not having that desperation. So you got to understand, it's very important that you understand that desperation is real, and that you need to diagnose it in yourself. You need to diagnose it in your family and the people that you love, so they don't be getting cancer, they don't be getting diabetes and all that type of, you know, going blind or overweight, and, you know, that type of shit is all due to desperation and not being able to control your emotions, not being able to control your impulses, and not even knowing that the desperation lit is real. So now that you know, you can always come back here and use this as a resource to, you know, and meditate on these thoughts and think about them over the next 9 months, and, you know, and reprogram yourself like a baby. It takes 9 months. You know, you're giving a rebirth to yourself with no desperation, no stress, no chaos, no distractions, and none of that. You understand what I'm saying? So stay in tune with me. Hit up hoodx.com. Read the lit. Read the lit. I cannot stress you enough. Go under our set, McChristian Thomas's page. and read the blogs, read the lit, get this information, understand what it means, understand how to apply it to yourself, okay? And stay in tune with me. Hit up Willie Long up Silos if you want to join the corporate team, start getting paid for sharing this information. Hit up Desiree Davis if you're trying to, same thing. You can hit either one of them up. They will show you how to get paid by just sharing this information. It's your boy K-Blao. Stay in tune. We got some videos on the way. Shout out to everybody who deserves a shout.